Seth Goldman is at the helm of Honest Tea, the first fully organic bottled tea in the country, all because he couldn't quench his thirst.
And then I went for a run in Central Park. And after the run was thirsty, and it felt like, oh great, I'm really thirsty, looking forward to a beverage. And I went to the beverage cooler, and I saw the same choices, which are all these sweet drinks and all these watery drinks. And I said, there's nothing, that's it. There's nothing out there that I want, and I've got to create it.
So Goldman and his former Yale professor brewed up the first batch of Honest Tea in his home and carted off their concoction in thermoses to Whole Foods Market.
Well, I had made tea in my kitchen, 5 different varieties, and I had taken a bottle and just put a sticker on it, and not even just a printout of a label that this is what we'd like to make. And went to the buyer, painted a cap black, and said, this is what we want to serve to you. And the buyer tasted it, and I said, this is how it's different. This is how it fits with your stores. It was the regional office of Whole Foods, so the fact that it was all natural, that it was so much less sweet, made it a healthier, cleaner tasting product. And the buyer said, great, well, we'll take 15,000 bottles.
4 years later, more than 11 bottled varieties of Honest Tea are available in over 4,000 food and convenience stores nationwide. Honest Tea is now the best-selling bottled tea in the natural foods industry. And even though the young company has just recently started to turn a profit, it's already given back thousands of dollars to its partners all around the world.
We've just hit profitability. This summer was our first few months of profitable business, and obviously we hope for more of those. We should do a little more than $5 million in sales this year. And in terms of our community partners, we've donated more than $15,000 to the different partners we work with. And in purchases of whether it's the peppermint or the honeybush, we've purchased more than $60,000. And we actually just totaled also with respect to organics, we've purchased more than 300,000 pounds of organic ingredients since we got started.
Social responsibility is steeped deep in the core of Goldman's burgeoning business, which now serves as a role model for companies committed to promoting economic and community development.
It is really central to both to our mission and certainly to the way I try to run the business. I mean, in that every day when I get up, I'm not as much motivated by how many bottles can I sell today so I can make money. It's more about how many bottles can we sell so we can expand this model of business and really make its impact more dramatic, more powerful. This is a way of really creating more than just a business. I guess I personally would not be motivated to run a business that just does business as usual.
In Honest Tea's first year of business, Goldman started his first partnership with an economically disadvantaged group. The entrepreneur traveled to Montana, founded tea that was part of the Crow Nation tribe's culture, and brought First Nation to market, the first bottled organic tea.
We buy the product from our partners on the reservation. We give a portion of the sales back to the community, both to the partners we buy from as well as to a nonprofit called the Pretty Shield Foundation. It's a 67% unemployment. I mean, very little economic activity that's independent, and really a community where you don't see much opportunity being created. So to feel like this is a step for them, it is a step. And what we really are interested in and working with them on is being able to develop the long-term capacity to grow the peppermint. Right now we buy from them and they buy from somebody else. We want to have them be able to produce the peppermint and cultivate it on the reservation.
Goldman's latest economic development partnership is with farmers in Haarlem, South Africa, a community with an 87% unemployment rate, where he buys honeybush leaves for the newest addition to the line, Haarlem Honeybush.
And what's happened is that they got together as a community and set aside some land to cultivate this plant. It grows there in the wild, it's indigenous, but now they started cultivating it. We've been their largest customer. We've spent about $30,000 in purchases in the honeybush, so obviously the money is going to the community to benefit. In terms of royalties, we do have a royalty with this community, and they've gotten, now it's close to $1,000 that we've donated. So for a company that's just barely ourselves getting to a for-profit status, it's nice to feel we've had that impact.
South African businessman Dan Akwe says Goldman is a breed apart. He knows firsthand the benefits that Goldman's philanthropic business practices are bringing to impoverished nations.
In South Africa, where SET pays royalties to the farmers, they use the royalties to buy some computers and fax machines. And that is also another aspect of economic development of the rural farmer. And the more he buys, the more they also get money for social welfare development. Most of the time we have businessmen who will just come and buy materials from farmers, and that's the end of the business, and they don't think about the social welfare and the economic empowerment of the farmers that they are working with. But SET has a unique program with the farmers that we assist, and he pays back 1% royalties to the farmers for community development and capacity building. And that's the first time we are having this kind of arrangement ever since we started this project, and it's something we want other businessmen to also look at.
Goldman says his commitment to social responsibility is in turn benefiting Honest Tea's bottom line.
Well, there's no question that it's really enhanced our customer loyalty. Customers know about our brand, and we certainly couldn't use the name Honest Tea if we didn't have some of this depth to it. I think it has probably gotten us, if there's a buyer who's sort of choosing between us and another product, they'll err on the side of what we're doing. Internally and personally, it's been a great motivator. People feel like we're doing more than just selling a bottle of tea. We're selling a relationship with a community in South Africa, selling a relationship with a community in the Crow Nation, and that people feel like they're buying more than that, and that customers, by extension, are developing relationships with these communities, and that's important because these days everything is a commodity. There's huge brands out there that don't really aren't genuine in what they're doing.
Consumers get more than just tasty refreshment in a bottle of Honest Tea. They can pick up some pointers from the amusing quotes printed inside the cap.
Some of the quotes that are useful for entrepreneurs. One is a Chinese proverb: those who say it cannot be done should not interrupt the people doing it. And I certainly take heart from that, because a lot of people would say we shouldn't be doing this in the first place. Another one I think that speaks to the social mission that we have is if we do not change the direction we are headed, we will end up where we are going. And for me, that really speaks to the idea that you need to take business in a different direction if you want to change the way society is going.
So what do the tea leaves hold for Honest Tea's future? Goldman hopes it will become a well-known national brand and gain market share in the $7 billion food and beverage organics industry to have an even greater impact around the world. For the Pearson Video Library, I'm Trish McShane, Business Now.